Hello and welcome to the January 2024 edition of SPS Global Insights Report, intended to inform you of critical incidents around the world relating to kidnap, ransom, extortion and piracy. We begin in Libya. At the moment, the security landscape is dominated by a mix of armed militias and criminal organisations. These groups often look to generate income through extortion, kidnapping for ransom and cybercrimes. Recently, the United Nations mission in Libya has expressed alarm over a rise in these incidents, particularly in relation to abductions, detentions, and forced disappearances. Both ordinary citizens and more prominent public figures have become recent victims of kidnapping by competing criminal organisations in the war-torn country. University professors, former politicians, and professional soccer players have all been recent high-profile victims of kidnapping and detention by government-aligned forces, while migrants transiting through Libya and the Mediterranean to reach Europe are increasingly becoming victims of smuggling, extortion, and even organ trafficking by Libyan criminal groups. Looking forward, a high risk of kidnap is expected to persist in Libya, as its unstable security situation continues to foster violent criminal groups and armed militias. Even an unlikely national election does not guarantee significant changes to the status quo. Moving across the Atlantic to Colombia, where President Gustavo Petro's efforts to tame the violence between drug trafficking militias and the government are being complicated by a high kidnapping rate which is failing to fall. Although the leftist and former guerrilla leader has been successful in reducing violence between criminal gangs and government forces through his Total Peace Plan, the last year has seen an 83% rise in kidnappings and a 100% rise in extortion cases compared with 2022. This was highlighted to the world with the kidnapping of Liverpool Football Club's forward Luis Diaz's parents in October, reaffirming the long-standing issue for the whole world to see. Immediately following the resolution of that particular case, the government made a concerted effort to engage with criminal groups, including the National Liberation Army. This has resulted in an agreement to end kidnapping for ransom in exchange for government funding. These positive developments mean we actually predict the risk of kidnapping to decline this year, as long as the truce between the ELN and the government holds. And finally, we look at the global issue of piracy. 99 incidents of piracy were recorded across the world in the first 9 months of 2023 and have risen even further in the last quarter due to geopolitical tensions. The Bab al-Mandeb Strait in the Gulf of Aden has become the global choke point for shipping due to the Israeli war. Yemen-based Houthi rebels have been motivated by the Israel-Hamas conflict to attack Western shipping travelling between the Arabian Sea and the Mediterranean. Since the seizure of the ship Galaxy Leader in a helicopter boarding assault, over 14 different ships have been targeted during recent months, leading to the United States military forces intervening and destroying 3 Houthi craft on January 1st. While we expect the piracy threat in this region to persist well into 2024 as Houthi fighters vow to continue their efforts to disrupt international shipping, the presence of a significant international naval force will reduce the prospects of further successful detainments. Low-technology swarm tactics alongside missile and drone fire will continue to pose significant risks to crews' personal safety, especially on board boats with Israeli or Israeli supporting connections. We hope our SPS Global Insights report has been of value and urge you to read the full report for a comprehensive overview of the SPS Kidnapping, Piracy and Ransom Bulletin. Stay tuned for next month's edition.